Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well, and I want to welcome you to the channel where we focus on the song, the whole song, and nothing but the song. I'm River Rapkins. I am a singer and songwriter and producer in my own right. My channel is actually full of my own original music, so I like to think that my credentials are out there, on the line. If you're listening to me talk and you're thinking, does he really know what he's talking about? Go listen and see for yourselves. But anyway, this video is a reaction, and the way I think about it at this point is that this is a midpoint on my Jinjer journey. I'm doing a bit of a mini-series here where I have been reacting to their songs, and you guys have been giving me great suggestions and context and feedback, and I have been kind of exploring this band through different aspects on this arc of reacting to songs of theirs, and I'm on the way to learning a lot about this very interesting band. And one thing, speaking of feedback, that I have gathered is that you guys really want me to react to a live video of theirs. I get it, you've been heard. I've also said my piece about how generally I'm not going to do that on this channel because I want this to be a very music-focused channel. That's what I'm good at, reacting and analyzing. But by popular demand, I will make an exception because I'm a reasonable guy. Anyway, I'm actually not going to be doing that today, though, and I will tell you guys why. Amid the suggestions, there's one song that a lot of you brought up called Home Back, and you guys gave me the context by saying that this song is specifically about the military and political tensions and the situation that has been developing for a long time between Russia and Ukraine. That is not a subject that I want to treat lightly, and I think with a video going I won't be able to give my full focus to that, and I might end up saying something ignorant or not getting into it the way that I should if I'm distracted by a video. So today I will just be reading the lyrics and listening very closely to the music as usual. Now, I've never done research before for these reaction videos at all, but in this case, like I said, I do not want to come off as ignorant. I certainly do not want to spread any more misinformation than there already is in the world. So I did do a little bit of research, and I did read some things that would hopefully get me up to speed about the situation. Not that I want to tell you guys how to feel about it or try and be the one to explain what's going on. There are much better sources than me for that. I'm just a musician. Please don't please don't put me on that pedestal. But anyway, I will actually link the Associated Press article that I read. Hold on. Okay, yeah, I'll put that in the description because I found that to be a decent overview, and that is about as centralized and unbiased of a source as you can get, I think. So I will just say, as like a baseline, I know that Jinjer is a band from the Ukraine, and so that's the perspective, at least on the very most basic level, is that this is a Ukraine perspective on the situation. And my general understanding of the situation is that Ukraine is under threat from Russia. They are obviously a smaller country in terms of numbers and military manpower, I believe. And they are Russia has been building up their military arm on the borders of Ukraine, amid other details that I won't get into, like annexations and whatnot. And Ukraine is rightfully afraid of the troops and the occasional violence that has been coalescing around the Russia-Ukraine border, and they are thinking that Russia is preparing to invade, and they are afraid and asking for help from the rest of the world. That is my understanding of what the situation is right now. Feel free to respond in any way about your perspective, but that is what I gathered from about an hour of reading last night. Anyway, I will hopefully know more about it after listening to this song. I'm very excited to do this. Alright, got the lyrics up now, and here we go. Polymetric.
What is this? What is this noise? What's that noise? Is this a dumb sentence? Terrifying silhouettes rising over the monoline. Are those the fireworks? No, it's a military choir. Is it the mermaid singing?
We're in B minor.
No, it's a siren screaming. Is it an angel watching over us? It's a never making a voice.
Listen.
Is it a unicorn galloping down the street?
That's harmony and parallel fifths, I believe. Always creates an unsettling feeling, that type of harmony.
Is it an angel watching over us? Is it the fighter making a fuss? Why is this party looking so bizarre? Oh, buddy, know what this is.
You heard there. There's kind of call and response between the singing and the screaming, and I feel like that is different perspectives.
My darling, did we wake up like this? Isolated bodies in a boudoir of helplessness.
Jazzy now.
Bullet is an early bird, a midnight owl. Morning greetings over, rooster are replaced with fire in a hole.
We're in A minor now, by the
Fire
way.
in a hole. My dear, do
That's
we
D.
have to go to sleep
4.
like that?
Down to
With a
1.
soothing cocktail and a hot
Melancholy,
cigarette.
gentle sound.
Morning greetings over rooster are replaced with fire and a hole. A better code. Let's go this basement floor. A better code. Let's go this basement floor. This house is not a shelter anymore. This house is not a shelter anymore. This house is not a shelter anymore.
House as a metaphor for Ukraine, the country, I'm pretty sure. Alright, I know I was a little quieter than usual, but I wanted to focus on the words, and that's what I was doing. So, as usual, first I'm gonna kind of wrap up my musical thoughts about it. Off the bat, one thing I noticed with this song is that it was more thoroughly tense and heavy than the other ones. Like I'm thinking back to Pisces. That one was very much playing on the kind of mercurial or like ever-changing and duality between the really soft and melancholic sections and then the really angular and heavy sections. It felt like either one could happen at any moment, whereas this was much more consistent. There was that soft section in the middle, but generally they are, I think musically what they are doing here is that they are getting across the feeling that the tension and the feeling of threat does not let up. They are showing that musically by never really giving you, the listener, a break, never really giving you something comforting. Like, for example, there was that soft middle section, but it was jazzy, and it was a key change. And so all those elements together, there's no point in this song where you really feel like comforted and at home musically, which, I mean, there is even lyrics like I pointed out, this house is not our shelter anymore. They don't want you to have that feeling. That is a deliberate musical choice, is to, like I said, the parallel harmonies, parallel fifths. If you're not a music nerd, generally, in classical music world, they tell you never to do those, but obviously rules in music are stupid and they create tension and unease because they just sound weird to us because of those rules that have been in place for a long time. And so that is creating that dis-ease and tension. And the jazzy part to me did not feel comforting at all. It felt like they were kind of like trying to find a place of peace within the song, and then obviously failing and falling back to the heavy onslaught of frustration that was most of this song musically. That's pretty much it for my musical thoughts. Like I said, I was focused on the lyrics more. So let's get into them. All right, what is this? What is this mess? What is that noise? Is it a death sentence? Terrifying silhouettes rising over the motherland. So, yeah, I mean, pretty much spot on with what I said. My understanding of the situation was looming threat rising over this place that feels like home to you. That being the threat that is the Russian military organization. Are those fireworks? No, it's a military quirk. Yeah, so I heard when I was reading is that oftentimes Russia in their militarization of the Russia-Ukraine border is disavowing themselves of what the troops are doing by claiming that they are not, officially sanctioned Russian troops. So are those fireworks? I feel like that is possibly a nod to that, like maybe the Russian government washing those complaints of disturbance away with, no, it's just fireworks, man, don't worry about it. Those aren't bombs or tanks or something. Possibly. And like I said, coming back a little bit actually to musically, I think that one of the ways that this band is really set up for a song like this, interestingly, is that I know that it's the same woman who is doing the vocals, the beautiful singing, and also doing the screaming. And she does sound like an entirely different person when she is screaming, and so that actually worked out in the favor of the song, I think, because you have this whole section, in fact quite a lot of the song actually, which is question and answer or call and response between, you know, like, are those the fireworks? Or is an angel watching over us? You know, like, gentler words responded to by the harsh reality that is done in the screaming voice. So it really, I mean, I talk about contrast with this band all the time, but it's not often that you can do that with one singer, you know, where like you clearly get the point as a listener, you know, like, this is one perspective, or possibly this is the perspective of the outside world not taking the situation seriously, and then this growling voice that demands your attention is the harsh reality that is responding. Is an angel watching over us? You know, nice, optimistic, possibly ignorant Western thought or response to what's going on? No, screams the growling, evil, harsh reality voice. It is an air fighter making a fuss. And so yeah, I think that's what they are doing. And let's see, I'll find some other lyrics that were I mean, they're all interesting, but I'm trying to find a new perspective. Morning greeting of a rooster are replaced with fire in a hole. That nobody feels safe when they could be waking up to a threat to their homeland and their own very lives and their property. This house is not our shelter anymore. They don't feel safe, which sucks. Really, really sucks. I think the one thing that we as human beings all need is to feel safe. And at least, you know, like, if we are going to make the claims that we are civilized society, that everyone deserves the right to at least feel like their very existence and their very livelihood is not under constant threat. That is a terrible thing to feel on a personal level, and also on a macro social political level. It's really sad. I definitely see the perspective that this band is giving, and that's, you know, like, we can all relate to that, even not being Ukrainians. We're all human beings, and that's the best way to get people to care, is to and that's what music does so well, is touch on these very basic feelings that everyone has. Take that common kindred feeling that we have about wanting to feel safe, and once you've got people, you know, by the hearts thinking about that, then you tell them where to apply it. You know, you tell them, this is a situation, this is a country where people do not feel safe. They feel constantly under threat. And you make people care about it by establishing that, you know, common kindred feeling. If you ever hear someone say that music should stay out of politics, tell them to shut up, because that is the value of it. That is the way that you are gonna get people to actually care, is to get them feeling that human relationship with someone else in a different situation. Music is very, very useful in politics. I love that they wrote this song. Home is not a building, home is liberty. They are laying it all out there on the line. Don't you leave us homeless. I feel like they are speaking directly to the whole world here. They are, at that point, they are not only talking to, Russia, but they are talking to the world that probably needs to care more about this situation. They are saying, you know, like, this thing that a lot of you out there in the world take for granted is not there for us right now. This sense of peace and belonging. You guys need to wake up and care more about it, which I have done, in my just wanting to give an honest reaction to the song. I've done the research. I care more now. I hear them pleading for me to care, and it makes me feel something as someone who has, often felt insecure and not at home in this world. It fires me up, and it's not a like subtle song. It's not a song that has like a bunch of different meanings. I think that is absolutely what they are getting at, but sometimes you don't need subtlety, especially when you are trying to get people's attention in the world to a situation that they have been ignoring because they're inundated by all of the other loud bullshit on the internet and the general stream of information. You have to come in with a sledgehammer and grab them by the ears and scream in their face to pay attention. That is what it takes to get people to care these days. This band understands that, and they made a really good song about it that I enjoyed. So I hope that I did justice to this. I'm already worried that I didn't. I'm already worried that I screwed something up. Just know that I am a musician, and that is my perspective here. Don't take anything that I said as gospel. Come to your own understanding. It never hurts to care more about what is going on. That can only be a good thing when you care and you empathize with other people. That is the whole point of this music thing, in my opinion. So happy to share that with you guys. Thank you so much for recommending this one. All right, I'm out. Bye.